But he is one of those mid laners that will make his own plays. He will 1v1 people while you're having a 5v5 kind of skirmish waiting to fight. Somebody will get zeroed out by Pobelter.
Yeah, he's one of those players that likes to push his limits, which is something that you want in your best players. Someone who's going to push their limits. However, usually you want them to push their limits in practice so that they find out where that line is. Pobelter blurs the line a little bit, and he pushes the boundaries even in LCS games.
A lot of the mid lane going over. He's drawn a Rise band now after bringing that out twice. He has great effect with that Rise in the mid game, but it hasn't seemed to really carried all that well for him to the late so far with the team compositions they have.
And finally a TF ban as well.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to actually see North American teams start to ban this champion because we've seen it be so effective for so many of the teams. With all the top laners taking teleport now, it's very easy for the team with Twisted Fate to attack that teleport.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a global like that, you usually want to attack the source of the global. So if a team has two, then you can send TF right up to attack that solo laner with teleport, and it's been working out. Korean Shaco, don't think it's going to happen, but
I don't know if we've even had Shaco Hubbard before.
They're legendary.
It's a first. Syndra coming out, been seeing a lot of play as the mid's getting banned out somewhat, / you want to control the heck out of your lane early game.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the stronger lane bullies available right now. Lots of kill pressure on almost all opponents. Lulu, though, could easily be switched into the mid lane for Prawley if he wanted to play safer, because Lulu also has wave clear, also has long range, and defensive abilities, can use the shield and her own speed to dodge the stun from Syndra, which has been one of the most important factors in playing against Syndra. So many people starting boots just to be able to dodge her
stay safe
skill shots even more effectively.
Making me sad, Harvard on Kennen probably. Stop that. So we lock in the Elise, lock in the Nami as well. Robert actually gets a sustain lane for himself. They hold off on the AD carry so Kez can get his jungler, even though they got that Lee Sin picked up. They want to make sure it doesn't go to Inox.
Yeah, compLexity especially have really just been hard-nosed. Sustain support every single time on 410. They are sticking to that strategy every single game pretty much here. Braum is still up, so EG could go with more kill potential, very high CC, go for the control lane. Also, you know, they picked Nami over Braum here, compLexity, when faced with Syndra. I almost always like to see Braum as sort of a semi-counter pick to Syndra, just because in the late game, when you see Syndra going for her ultimates, it's a fairly easy tell, and if Braum is reactive enough, he can block that entire ultimate with his shield. He can reduce the damage almost down to 0. It's ridiculous how effective it is. But Evil Geniuses do pick it up.
Yeah.
Since compLexity leave it on the board, and they will go much more kill-oriented here.
Got a Twitch coming in as well for Altac. He's kind of fallen off for some ADs, but Altac still keeps his champion pool quite open.
Yeah, he really likes this Twitch pick here, just because so strong in team fights with all of the AoE line damage that he can get down, and Evil Geniuses are a team who like to fight little skirmishes and even big team fights in the jungle pathways around the dragon. So they will try and force something like that, try and draw compLexity over to those areas where they can utilize terrain to help Altac get those very strong rat-tat-tat ultis lined up. And, you know, they have plenty of CC so far to help him do it, to keep people in place. Braum is great at defending Twitch. It's a really strong combo here, because Twitch, low mobility, is going to need somebody to protect him.
We'll see what Crapple can do. Looks like a first Braum game coming in on this one as well. Tristana for Robert X. Lee drew a ban yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
He gets it locked in today.
People have been, they saw the combo. The Yasuo Trist combo worked so well for compLexity, and they wanted to deny it to them. This time around, compLexity actually has way more options than they even need for the knockup for Yasuo. So they don't have to rely on Robert just jumping in. They've got displacements all over the place with Lulu and Nami. So it looks like sort of a two-threat team here for compLexity. They've got the Yasuo and Trist, which are both very strong late game, but they're both attack damage oriented champions here. And the magic from Lulu and Elise is not particularly high. We'll have to see how they build those champions. Lulu can have a pretty good mid-game of AP damage she can add into there.
And they still have a chance to wall the Syndra ultimate. All the walls.
Yeah, I mean, that's... They do get another wall, you're right. Without the Braum shield, they do actually lock in the Yasuo wall.
It probably likes that.
As well.
Playmaker probably gets the chance to be on Yasuo once again. Has found himself in some trouble in this matchup, but also can put himself into some great situations to carry the team. So you've seen what the teams are bringing. Let's check out how the game, or how you're calling the game over at LOLesports.com. 66% of you have voted that EG will win, with 34% of you voting on the other side for compLexity, and that can change.
Yes, remember, keep tweeting your picks to @LOLesports and use the hashtag COLWin or EGWin, depending, of course, on which team you'll want to win.
This is true.
Or even if you don't want the team to win, but you just think that they will and you want to be right.
That's right. You can always change your vote.
There's no way of telling, you know, who you voted for, though, so you can always just lie.
Yep, absolutely. You can always be right. Unfortunately, one of the teams do not have that option. One has to lose, and one's going to be winning this time. Right now, EG and compLexity, like we said, both coming off a loss yesterday. A hard-fought loss, meaning that game was in their hands. They were ready to win, except that late-game communication and shot calling wasn't something that worked out for them so well, and they were just taken by storm.
And it's an interesting difference between the two teams this time around, because one team's got late-game Tristana, which is amazing, but you have to go really late game for her to get that max range, to get those items.
Right.
Combine all of her attack speed with all the crit and infinity edge. Meanwhile, the other team got a pretty good mid-game as well, even though they do have Jax, who takes a while for Inox. They've got Syndra, Lee Sin here to even buffer, give them a buffer for that early game. So we'll see. Two pretty well-matched teams.
And that's kind of one thing that EG can do. You know, Loco was talking about that timer comp. EG loves the late game. They remember all about it.
Both of these teams kind of have outs, so neither of them are really going to be pressured too much to end the game early, because both of these AD carries are pretty much the two best super late game. Caitlyn also a contender for that title.
There might be some storytelling.
Yeah. West is cracking up once again. We will see once again the Lulu versus Jax matchup as well. So this time around, we'll see how West can actually perform, because Zion Spartan performed amazingly in that matchup. Did his job to perfection. Oh, Kez can't get the last hit off. Wasted the sweep. Dang, Helios. Not only did Helios protect his ward, so Helios, yeah, he just sent a message to Kez, and it was basically wrapping up one of Kez's babies, killing it, and sending it to him wrapped up in a box. That's got to put some fear to Kez.
Consistent early game pressure. Can't stop it. Let's see what they decide to do.
It was pretty late there. The smite, actually, 10 more seconds here. It's going to come back in time, but he won't immediately smite his boss. Actually, it was perfectly timed.
You see a quarter on the ground, you pick it up.
Perfectly timed. He got it, yeah. Could be lucky, Rick.
It could. There's a heads up. Kaz looks like he's not going to get any help here, but it won't matter. He's got that Spidey back. Probably, and Pobelter. Wow, trading a good bit of damage right in the beginning there to start the chug of the potions. Probably gets denied on a bit of that regen.
Yeah, probably starting with that E, charging it up. It's still 4 times you can charge it up. This is still 410. Not limited to 2 quite yet. Still a viable strategy to max that E, which not a lot of Yasuo's have done, but Voyboy definitely one of the biggest proponents of that build.
Great little matchup. Every time flows up, you can see the damage not being there yet, but look how often Pobelter can get him when his flow is enough.
And we talked about counting minions, counting the experience, hitting level power points right there, break points for the levels. Very important to keep track of. Pobelter gets a cheap shot in as soon as he gets to level 2.
Push right into the turret. Altec nicely farming behind it. Again, Robert not really wanting to try and attack from underneath that as well.
Yeah, Trist, of course, as everyone knows, will be shoving in early due to explosive shot, and Nami can help her abuse Braum in the early game, especially since Twitch is not one who can really do those trades early on back and forth with a melee support on his side. There's no way a Twitch is going to be able to answer Trist and Nami aggression early, so the EG squad knows coming into this they're going to play defensive. 2 junglers mid, 2 wards.
Somebody's got to pull the trigger. Good
Actually,
damage.
Helios.
Waiting
There's
for a
pings
dash.
onto Helios. Did they have a ward that went away, or are they just guessing?
Haven't
The
done
sense,
much.
the jungle sense.
Pobelter's hovering that side. It might just be too much of a tell. That's the first time Pobelter's really been hugging that mid brush like that, so you can kind of tell he's got the difference in play. Helios is on his backside. Good damage from Crepo, or to Crepo onto the turret from Robert X. Lee. We saw that Tristana play being very strong for compLexity last time, so they're going to start off 22-15. We've heard Double Lift and other 80 carries say in the past that if you can stay even with Trist, it almost means you're ahead coming into the mid game.
Yeah. So there was not a ward on Helios. Oh, now he's headed up top though. Again, no ward. Sneaky hugging this side of the river. We'll see if Jax can set this up. Inox can easily counter-strike, set up a gank. There it is.
Oh, he pointed forward as he was going for the whimsy. He still has a good amount of time on that. Gets out, but they blow the flash.
Yeah, Helios gets in with the safeguard instead of landing the Q on the stationary target because he wanted follow-up after flash. But Westrice with perfect timing there. Doesn't get hit by the slow. Also flashes over to the minions, so there's no clear shot for Helios. A really good escape by Westrice there. And Kez wants to answer.
Yeah.
Plus he gets a bonus free level here, sitting in the bush.
Return
from Helios, 2 versus 2 here.
There's a great wave for compLexity to go in on, making them think that EG would have the upper hand. Is it too slow though? The counter-strike hits! Man, so much damage and focused straight down onto Inox. 15 seconds for him. He'll be back with a teleport, but Helios is forced to watch.
That's what stealth will get you in this game. Really quick move by Kez into that bush, which is extremely important in this 2 versus 2 matchup because Elise and Lee Sin are very dependent on their skill shots landing for early skirmishes. Huge amount of Elise's early power comes from the cocoons landing. Teleport back in to answer.
Oh, hits it, can't get the extra. Oh my gosh, cannot leap anymore. The gap closer's fully used. Teleport and flash from Inox as soon as he gets back to lane. They could be going up for that again.
Yeah. Helios is not done though.
Oh, he doesn't have to, he could have smite through a minion. He didn't smite it. He tried to flash through instead of smite through.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
That was a little bit bush league there from Helios. He really wanted to force that. And he uses the wrong summoner spell, as you said. Well, he could have flashed and smited to get his Q through.
Yeah.
Oh well. Not going to get it this time. He had the right idea, though.
That's kind of being pressured to make a play there. They lost Inox, and he really wanted to get back in. We'll see if it hurts him. Inox is able to handle himself for now, getting level 6 far before Westrice since he's been back to lane. And Westrice was just getting pushed out a little bit. Inox, however, has completely used up his mana and is being toyed with at the moment.
You have to give credit there to Westrice. The positioning there,
Yep.
just outside of range.
Oh no, and he flashed right into the wall. How unfortunate. Back and forth right now in this game.
I wish we had a cam on Riv right now because the reaction for that, the cringe is pretty much what everyone at home is feeling too. You know that feeling of Syndra ulti has already started, yet you still want to get away from it, so you burn your flash as well. It was started off so well for compLexity with the top lane going in their favor, but Frawley with the misstep mid, going to give EG back a lot of momentum there. We'll see what they can do with it, because Pobelter has been such a huge carry for this team, especially in the early game, where Altec needs time to power up.
Oh wow, they're getting this turret down pretty low very fast, which means they'll be able to start spreading the pressure they have that they've been putting on in this bottom lane. Very small gold lead to start. Helios kind of confined to his jungle now after a few mishaps in that top lane. Just manhandling the blue over to Pobelter. He'll be good for mid lane again.
Yeah, mid lane. Probably, he did get a quick little shove there as the blue left was traded. Twitch goes in for the assassination. But,
Nice.
you know, just looking for some harass here.
Double bubble bubble.
I have to say, though, about that mid lane, the Zeal pickup early from Prawley is really strong. Zeal was actually one of the few things that was buffed.
Oh! compLexity goes fishing. Westrice is the bait. One more attack coming in.
Whoa!
Oh my God! I've never seen a Counter-Strike hit so far, but so does Q. Kez comes up with the kill.
Yeah, so Kez has to take a little tower damage, but they get the kill in the end. Still, the story holds true here for compLexity. Top lane going in their favor because of the very strong play of Kez and Westrice in the 2v2 matchup they've had up there.
I don't think he realized there were so many people in his jungle. Probably walks right into a death sentence here, and he is easily taken down by Helios. Crepo gets an assist on the support roam at 8.5 minutes.
Again, probably embarrasses himself a little bit as he dies, throwing the wind wall out on the wrong side. It didn't cost anything, and it wouldn't have blocked anything either.
He didn't flash.
But you don't want to die that way. Tough break here for Prawley. Really rough start. This CS lead might get doubled.
Whoa. Robert putting the slow on from Rocket Jump. The shots are big. He's not even coming back to lane with anything. These guys are still working off just Dorans, but great pressure and damage coming in from compLexity's bot lane.
Yep. Robert's a real big fan.
Kind of the savior right now.
Of that new explosive shot. A lot of early trading power for Trist. We've seen so many times too, Robert is not a Trist player who's afraid of Rocket Jump towards the danger. Once again, he's able to push it in too.
I like it. More chance to get a reset, man.
Yeah, he kind of
jump right out. Hit it. All right. Bit of gold.
Let's see. He should be able to go for an Infinity Rudge if he wants to, because he got so much gold on the first back.
He's got a good clip of
But it's a first buy static shiv. So much wave clear. And he immediately looks to go to another lane. This is something that compLexity did first in North America.
Wow. And look at the difference. Let's recall back to the last match we just saw. Dyrus is going in and out. Inox is kind of countering after he aggresses, is causing Westrice to make some foul plays, and now he has to flash. The Q goes back though, and this is where Inox has to make the outplay. He missteps it though. He takes 3 auto attacks to death.
Westrice again performing admirably up in the top lane.
Yep. Oh my God! They get it. The rocket jump into last breath. Didn't even have a chance to blink. Pobelter goes down immediately, and EG's left wondering.
That's okay. compLexity want to take that trade because Prawley is just getting destroyed in mid lane, and it looks really cool when they pull off that combo. So Robert with the setup here, alley-oop from Prawley, gets the Tristana plus Yasuo, and they're able to trade kills in the mid lane, which is about as good as Prawley can hope for at the moment. And really, it opens them up to feed more money to Robert anyway. Robert gets to hold this mid lane, which is where they want him. They were one of the first teams in North America to do the switch of early AD carry in. So there it is.
Then no chance for title.
Then he gets another knockup from the Nami wave and another knockup. The triple knockup. Shifter doesn't even hit the ground before he dies.
Doesn't make it easy. Huge kudos to both of these teams for adapting to what the other is doing.
Robert is just a bold...
Static Shiv rush.
He's got a Napoleon complex here on Trist, walking around with his large gun, just bullying everybody.
He's huge right now. Such an item spike at 11 minutes into the game. Nobody's even really finished with an item except for Pobelter from his kills earlier. compLexity now pressuring onto the Dragon. They've loved early Dragon since the beginning of time. It's about to get hairy here. We're going to have Inox coming in from the top side. He is fully in on this fight now. Ward's cleared out. The Ward war begins as the Dragon battle will ensue.
2 for 1 on that sweeper. That's a pretty good feeling. They do take a lot of damage here from the Dragon, though. Probably loses his shield. Shifter's not in the game.
That's a scary spot.
Pobelter. Syndra. Robert making the call, though. He still wants to leash this Dragon. They're confident going with a smite fight here. But these two junglers both have executes. The side initiate here.
This is pretty much both teams putting their junglers in the hot seat. Helios goes in, a good flash out. Altec trying to do the damage from the outside here. Great shots. Altec starting to pick up kills for himself as the fight phase starts. Objective Dragon. 12.5 minutes in, we're seeing if Robert actually can put out that static shift damage. A lot of flashes to re-engage there, at least one. Helios died! There's too many minions! He gets the Dragon's Rage! He goes in for another one! Helios with the plays into the Dragon Pit to completely turn the fight around!
Helios takes matters into his own hands. That was beautiful. And compLexity as well probably didn't get to use his ultimate in that fight. Really big team fight win for them, but also they get the Dragon and the Dragon timer. This puts EG ahead, slingshots them right back into this game. Do want to take another look at that. That was a beautiful fight from EG. Grumwall able to block the entire ultimate. Kez goes right in. It's a good repel from Kez. As soon as he hits the ground, he's able to get them in. Probably does not ult onto Jax while he's knocked up in the bubble. And this is the interesting point. When we get down to the 4 versus 4.
Kiting back into their own vision.
Exactly. They get a couple of flashes out of compLexity too. And Helios makes the call behind enemy lines. Ward jump flash for 1 kill. Takes out Robert, the big, important person left on compLexity, and enables the rest of the team to clean up.
Both teams, like I said, doing everything they need to adapt and react. EG now putting themselves back on top after compLexity just had their composition of Robert Exley and Prolly engage in mid. These teams neck and neck at each other right now.
Yeah, Prolly with the Yasuo once again having a rough time. 0-4 start for him. Not quite able to get that ult this time around. But they're going with the same strategy. They shove him down into the bottom lane.
Right.
They keep Robert mid, now that Robert is trying to get his Infinity Edge. That's a long, arduous journey to build up enough gold to buy your Infinity Edge. You have to farm for a while.
This is pretty close. Actually got it on the backside. He walked around the shield to make sure he would get knocked up. Good sustain for Bubba actually keeps him alive.
As well.
Yeah, but Altec from the backside there made sure to get one for himself.
Now that gives them control of mid here, and double buffs picked up for Altec as well. Scary, scary Twitch. Blade completed. As soon as he completed that Blade, went for the assassinations. Double buff for him, and they shove right down mid. Such a back and forth between these two teams.
Yep. It's amazing how consistent Altec can stay too. Not dying out of the lane.
Oh, so he already had red. Creeping up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Helios was looking to help. Can't quite.
He wanted that.
Yeah.
Yes, be his kill. Trying to KS. That's all right. He's done enough for the team. 2-0-3. Actually, everybody's getting kills on the team. Crepo getting the assist, as it should be. So far, 8-6 for them in 15 minutes. Now they've gotten a 1,000 gold lead, so they're not stopping with their pressure. But this is the time it's almost easiest to create that pressure. You still have some outer turrets to work with, and you still have that early game timers of your opponent's buffs. EG's already worked with that on Helios once to take out Prolly. We'll see if they can keep it going inside the jungle of compLexity.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing for Evil Geniuses that Helios did not steal that other kill, because Altec really needed it to get back in this game.
Right.
He's going to have some work to catch up to Robert, even after that mid-fight where EG got a lot of global gold influx. Still, 30 CS discrepancy. He needed that kill to push him over the top. Robert is going to be the big player here for compLexity. The carry for them late game. We'll see if he can perform. The ball is in his hands in crunch time.
Yep.
Meanwhile, EG, that guy on the screen there, Pobelter, just destroying mid lane. Pretty much the most fed guy on the map here with Syndra. So he's going to make use of the long range stun, catch people out.
He's got a great aggressive style of play. Sometimes it gets him in trouble, but more than not, he'll be the first guy with a pink ward out, helping the team, getting that first kill. Like we said, 1v1s for him. He's no stranger to that. Right now, roaming with the team again to the red side. Like I said, they have had control of compLexity's jungle pretty much the entire time here.
And it's an interesting choice from compLexity too. That again, they try and send Prolly as a split pusher, but since he got shut down so early,
options there,
and inherently Yasuo versus Jax is rough for Yasuo because Jax does not care one way or the other about a wind wall. He'll walk right through it. And pretty much every champion who's a very strong brawler is very good against Yasuo. Same thing with Riven. pretty strong. Anybody with the melee stun, carry power is very strong against him. So Prawley has to back off. And they switch it up. compLexity try and get Westrice up there instead. Safer choice for them, especially since he has teleport.
Uh-oh.
Trap laid for Prawley, and man, is he having a rough day.
Waiting for the dash. Oh, comes out from the right
That's
side.
only one, though.
Yeah.
There's 3 more.
Oh, man.
Only 2 more.
Watch out, Bubba Dub. You could be putting yourself into a bad situation. They haven't been able to clear out their own jungle here. Bubba is going to come for help, though. He should be safe enough, even with the wards. EG says they're going to back off here. No reason to lose a bit of lead that they have. Go for a simple push. Well, we got the rotation for Bow Belter, so it looks like they actually may go through with it.
Yeah, probably got a small respite there when he gets Bubba Dub to come in. But he's going to have to back off. 4 members now. EG make the power move on bottom lane. And they don't even actually commit their players. Look at this very efficient use of Pobelter's time. He only had to come halfway down to bottom lane.
Whoa.
And then he gets right back up to mid to soak up these minion waves. This, again, Westrice outplaying in the 1 versus 1. Can't really hold on to Inox. Ooh. Beautiful flash from Inox there. Saves his life.
Flash for a flash, very well played. Teleports are still up for that top lane, and we're going to see a little bit of dragon contest coming on now. Looks like EG is going to have their hand at this one, and no pressure from compLexity.
Yeah, the ward control from Evil Geniuses right there is what's really giving them the edge.
Right in the line there, very nice.
Yeah, they prepped this one extremely well. You know, since the first minute, we talked about that dragon was going to be big for them. They had the timer down, prepped it extremely well, executed nicely. And, you know, even though up top Westrice has been doing well, look at the CS. Inox is still fighting his way through, and he's not that far behind in CS. Plus, he has the wave pushed all the way to his turret, so now he will have an influx of fairly easy farming time where the minions are in his territory.
So, let's see, they give Westrice the blue buff right away. Great for having a top lane split pusher. Probably every time they kind of do this, they work with somebody that can get the blue buff. Whether it's top lane, whether it's somebody from the jungle, whether they have a Kog'Maw and Robert to really utilize that split push even more. Now they bring it to mid lane for now. Let's see if they can get the second tier.
Yeah, they make the call because Westrice was going back to top. He stopped in his tracks, reverted back to mid because he doesn't want to overextend up top versus Jax. And they try and shove down mid, but the defense in place for Evil Geniuses and compLexity don't get anything. Plus they leave Jax farming. Inox, as soon as he saw that pressure mid, switched gears, trying to quickly shove this lane into the turret.
It just goes to show you how much control Syndra puts on a lane. That turret isn't even hurt. Pobelter, however, with the rest of the team starting to close in now onto Bubba Dub, and they missed the place for Fisher. It's hit by Helios. He's going strong again. Can Pobelter get the scatter out? He does not have to. Helios goes in with the flash for the kick. They're going to be able to finish off Kez as well. And EG, as they kind of string along compLexity, find 2 more kills.
It's so dangerous. We had a feature there on supports and the dangerous job of walking around and trying to get vision, trying to ward. It's such a thankless job to try and fight your way for vision for your team because you're so squishy and you're so easily killed when you get caught out. Right there, it was even Kez falling as well, trying to provide backup to Bubba Dub. Dangerous road down the river, even for Nami, not able to survive in a natural environment. Good juke on a couple skill shots, but there are just too many shots from EG.
They were doing what they can, and compLexity actually couldn't even get mid off of that.
Again, but they are combo.
Able to get a few kills. That teleport's going to be right next to Prawley. He goes down immediately. We're going to see Inox now in the fight. Can he get the counter-strike to leap in? He cannot. Robert X. Lee is trying to do what he can right now. Flashes out with Wild Growth on. He's going to get a few shots. He kites it in. The double kill actually comes in for Kez. Robert has to pick up 1. He jumps right back with the team. Kez over the wall. Hits the Q. Is he going to be able to get out a venomous spider? No, he goes for the execute with his own spider form Q. Crowd loves it. compLexity finds themselves a bit of cash money and the mid turret.
We were wondering who's going to be able to carry stronger. Okay, so initially, combo number 1. Robert jumps in, they pull it off, and Prawley gets 1 kill. Also, they use the exhaust on Prawley. So even though Prawley went down again, he's sort of the sacrificial lamb for the team. That flash right there from Robert to dodge away from Crepo was huge for them. And then Westrice gets down the slow, Robert changes targets as well, doesn't hit Rom right in front of him.
Right.
With Prepo's shield being down, it was perfect for Robert, preying on those cooldowns. And then Kez gets the red buff auto attack instead of trying to throw out Cocoon. Perfect choice for him. Doesn't even have to try and use Cocoon. Just use the red buff slow and damage from Qs.
Yep. Really chaotic stuff.
Man, that got him right back in the game though there. compLexity swing up to the front in gold here. Such a hotly contested game between the two bottom teams right here. I would expect nothing less for the two teams that are trying to separate from each other.
compLexity is going to have this little bit of power curve ramping up together with Brawley and Robert Exley in middle when they can start finishing those items. And boom, Infinity Edge in the hands of Robert Exley. Second item, 23 minutes. Not too shabby for him considering he got that static shiv at like 11.5.
And it looks like Brawley will be following in his footsteps here. Instead of going Blade of the Ruined King second, which has been the overwhelmingly more popular choice nowadays, he's going for more burst damage. Infinity Edge after static shiv, still very strong as well for the higher damage crits. He just doesn't have the sticking power. He doesn't have the life steal to sustain when he tries to push, or the move speed from the active.
And look how much control Evil Geniuses has had. Even with the last loss of that fight, the 3 pink wards they have previously put down to take the dragon are still theirs. The map control, still in their favor.
They are not letting up on this red side jungle control. No. Evil Geniuses have made this their home. It is littered with wards. So that dragon is definitely going to be in their favor when it does come back up. Couple of power spikes here worth mentioning. The double blade build for Altec has been secured. So his assassinations are very, very dangerous right now. compLexity have to worry about going out and venturing into the world by themselves. Need to take a buddy with you now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, though, for compLexity, I really love junglers that can go with a very easy build path into a Frozen Heart. And Kez has done that. Because of the nerf to Randuin's, does not feel as good getting that item. Not quite as big a fan of it now. So I've really, really taken to these junglers like Evelynn and Elise that thrive on cooldown reduction and can easily build into that item. That's a very big completed item for them because look at the team for EG. Twitch, Lee Sin, Jax, all very attack speed reliant.
EG getting themselves into position. The composition, double Blade of the Rune King in there as well. A lot of slows and catch up in the fight for Evil Geniuses. And impact damage from compLexity. It's going to be a very interesting fight.
Yeah, it's going to really count on, does Brawley get his combo onto Twitch? Because that's pretty much Brawley's only goal here. He's going to try and trade his life for Twitch. If he can get that kill, then it's completely worth it. Even if he goes down after it, if the disengage from Rom or Lee Sin or anybody kills him afterwards, he will consider his job accomplished. And that may be why, one reason besides being behind early, he's going for the Infinity Edge second. He wants the power to, once he gets to Twitch, get a lucky big crit on him and get the actual kill very quickly.
Still doing for him. Looks like they're trying to actually bait something up here to the top lane, but Westrice is going to lose a ward for that one. Actually, Pink going down. Gets safe on the top. Great coverage on their turrets for Evil Geniuses. Trying to still hold strong, but the influx of gold they can get on compLexities is really what EG is looking for right now. That last dragon, compLexity, got them up at least 1,000 gold, so EG's looking to get back on that. It's something that's always happened in this game. Somebody gets a lead, EG will take it back. EG's got a lead, compLexity takes it back. I'm just interested to see how EG moves next to do that.
Well, I like what they are doing. They're relying on Inox here because Inox even CS with Westrice right now. He's completed his blade. And he does have the Mercury Treads to help him with all this crowd control. So if they send Altec up top like they just did a few seconds ago, they can easily catch out Westrice because the double blade actives, Inox can slow, Inox can stun, then Altec can also slow multiple times on Twitch.
Belter can slow,
So Westrice has to play so much more careful now that this Twitch is roaming around and he doesn't know where Altec is. Gotta worry about that Twitch assassination in the mid-game. It's really EG's wild card that they have here.
Westrice continuing with blue buff in the top lane to try and stay an opponent at least versus Inox here. Not really winning out on the damage trades, but he's able to keep at least enough pressure to keep Inox off that top turret. It's the only outer one they're holding right now. compLexity looks to start the Baron dance, as they don't have too many wards up here just yet, but enough to keep it in their control. Doesn't look like it's anything they want to fight just yet. Pressuring now to the mid lane. I'm just going to let Westrice go ahead and push bottom, wait for a teleport if necessary.
Looks like it will be a safe farm there for Lulu. Oh, we didn't get a shot of it though. Cleared out that whole giant enormous wave with the glitter lance. And you have to give props to Westrice because he did not overextend in that top lane. He played it safe and he backed off in time.
There are a few times when it looked like he wanted it. Could have gone, but he did.
He played it safer, and that's definitely a good change for Westrice.
Yeah.
So far this game, he has played much better than he has so far in the LCS. Now though, how will he deal with this Jax? Because this Jax is not kept down as much as we saw in the last matchup, where Zion Spartan was keeping Dyrus starved the whole game with the support of TF. There's no TF in this game for compLexity to help target that Jax. So Inox has been able to get right back in this game and almost, well, he's got the most important aspects of the Trinity Force completed, the move speed and burst damage. So he's already feeling much more confident in the all-in potential and kill potential that he does have on Westrice.
Interesting. Altec to receive some CS here. If you look at that too, Robert Lee at 300 CS, Altec has 183, over 100 CS difference.
Now Trist has a buster shot, so even if you open on Trist, Robert would not be too scared.
Be a quick burst of damage from each end, but you'd walk away safely. No fight's going to happen in that top lane. Really awaiting to see the kind of pressure this Tristana can put out. Actually has a cutlass and a pickaxe going in with his build as well.
Yeah, I do like that Trist pick actually. Robert had control of the lane early, bullying the EG bottom lane.
Came out a lane ahead.
Yeah, they got into a little bit of trouble at the dragon fight, but then the mid-game fight he was able to kite effectively.
Yeah.
And right now he's pretty much at that spike. He's got the Infinity Edge comboed.
That fight shows that his consistency is a real thing. People like even Doublelift have been saying they're A, attacking less, attacking with A move, and they're trying to click attack because too many times you'll shoot a ward in the fight and just die after that.
Exactly. That target selection, very important for him, taking down Altec. And he has also, you know, level 16 Trist. Not only is the range increased, but he has the maximum rapid fire. Rapid fire has been maxed out. That plus Blade of the Ruin King and Static Shiv is an immense amount of attack speed. It's pretty much all auto attacks coming from him at this point.
Always awesome to see the game really come down to the 80 carries when the damage starts getting to full items. We're far from that, but it is a bigger surge than you would usually have here from Robert Lee.
And just look at how they have funneled CS into him as well. With the Static Shiv and Explosive Shot, he clears so quickly. He's been able to just gobble up side lanes worth of minions. And 321 compared to 200 on Altec. Robert, by far the strongest man on the map.
It's like, how about an early late game Trist?
Yeah. Pobelter could end his day, though, because there are no defensive items for Robert. Mikhail's is available for Bubba. If Bubba is by Robert, he can protect him and get him out of the stun. But if he's not next to Robert, Pobelter can take him down. Split push here, though, as we're talking. 5 members just shove straight up.
EG's kind of hanging out, pushing their own lanes, and they say, wait a minute, we're caught off guard here. Robert Lee with the rapid fire on, gets good shots onto the turret. It's still
and they get it
semi-healthy.
This is a mistake.
Down.
This is a mistake we've seen EG specifically make before. They don't make the call to recall in time. They just underestimate the split pushing power, or not even the split pushing, the straight up 5-man siege.
It was like semi a bluff, but not really, because they could see him running down the lane.
Uh-oh, here we go. This might be a collision of team forces, though. 5 versus 5 now. EG know that they goofed, and they want to make up for it.
That's the back of the 4th. Now EG has to act. See if they can assess what compLexity
and it wasn't even one member either. It was Altec and Helios both shoving lanes by
yeah.
themselves. Nobody.
And then you had Crepo over by Wolves, way out of position.
Yeah, we'll see though. Dragon has been started up by them.
Cocoon misses. A lot of the crowd control just get thrown out willy-nilly. There goes the Glacial Fisher. They'll be safe on that one. Kez in the pit, trying to do what he can. He flashed too! Stop flashing with the ultimate on you. Crepo could be going down in the end. Looks like compLexity is going to be forced out of this one, and EG says that was just a mishap.
Well, they do make up for their slight positional mistake that cost them inhibitor.
Blade. It's like Blade is.
Oh, wow, he stopped to take a photo.
Something.
Robert actually was like, marked him for death with the Blade active and let him walk away. That was the 5-point exploding palm trick from Robert. Let Helios get over the wall. But man, that was still a big win for EG. They got the Dragon. They got, whoa, Robert, or at Westrice here, actually
mana.
on Altec.
Oh, it doesn't matter if he has mana. One more shot. He gets invis. He's good to go. Whoa. Throw the bubble in the butt.
Up.
Oh, he tried to heal randomly. That would have been perfect. He got bounced.
Finish it. Throw out the random bubble there, too.
Yeah, right? Why not?
All right, that was a lot of excitement. What was I going to say about the Dragon fight? There was something really cool about it. Yeah, we get to look at it again. Okay, cool. They get the Dragon fight. There's the initiate. Oh, I wanted to commend Crepo on his tanking for this fight. This was perfect tanking by Crepo. Saves his flash until he's down to half a bar of HP. He uses the shield, takes up the maximum amount of damage that he can for the team. And it's a huge win for EG up until this point. Blade active, takes the picture, 5 steps for Helios, and he gets exploded.
Man, that static shiv pop on your shot.
The crit
so
right there
nice.
for Robert. Coming up big.
It's like a whole bunch of extra damage just for fun. So Last Whisper finished out. A lot of items now for Robert Exley. Looking for the Infinity Edge now to be finished out onto Altec. Still looking at quite a bit of CS difference in that lane. 6-4 in turrets. The game's starting to pan out in favor of compLexity as they're getting those second-tier turrets down. We're just waiting to see what kind of split push can be created here from compLexity or even Inox as they start to meet the bottom lane. 1,400 on to compBelter. He's got some cash to spend. 2,000 gold above Prolly right now in the overall scheme of things.
Exactly.
But that 2,000 gold is also made up by Robert over Altec in their matchup.
compLexity still feel strong about this, even after that mishap around Dragon. They're the ones with the extremely fed Tristana here.
They have that shock and off-fight capability.
Almost maximum range.
Yeah.
Almost about to crest 700 range here for Robert X. Lee. Now is the time where vision control around Baron is what matters. EG have done a great job controlling it around Dragon for pretty much the whole game. But now they really need to change focus up to this Baron. They have the right idea by creating pressure with Inox down bottom, split pushing when his teleport is available, but they also need to start clearing out the wards and do the grunt work, lay that groundwork for the upcoming Baron fights, control the vision around Baron, and then you'll be able to make the decisive move, because at this point, teamfight could go either way.
Wow. So Westrice gets himself Lucidity Boots, also drinking down elixirs as well. Can't get the blue buff from top lane anymore, and he straight up got home guards on this buy. So he's trying to stay up in Inox's face, keep those lanes pressured.
I do like how Westrice is going very heavy damage build for Lulu, because we mentioned in Champ Select that EG might only have to worry about the Yasuo and Tristana for late game and just build armor. However, Westrice is making sure that he is very, very important threat for compLexity, and he is relevant in this late game. You cannot ignore his damage.
Look at that. It looks like Tristana's power curve. Robert X. Lee making cash money now, though, towards the late game. 17 for him, almost level 18 with that max range, and compLexity starts to take over the jungle. 37 minutes in on this one, and EG's trying to figure out where compLexity is going to pop out of the woodwork now. Looks like they'll be nice enough to just walk down mid lane. Or not.
Interesting here,
A little bit of a stalemate.
You know how Kez hasn't built any magic resist, yet he was the one to receive compBelter's ultimate in that dragon fight. I mean, it's a good bet to just build a bunch of armor and assume that compBelter will try and use his ulti on either Prolly or Robert
or you hope they have enough HP.
But you know, he missed out in the lottery last time. He was the one focused by compBelter with 0 magic.
Oh, he remembers. His flash.
Hero
is still
magic
down.
resist, that actually should be a fairly high priority target for PoBelter, because if nobody else is in range, taking down the tank is nothing to laugh at.
A good repel. That would mess
Good
up
repel
a
could
lot
foil
of
his
things.
day.
We'll have to see. He's going to have some fast fingers. PoBelter has been on point, 5-2-4 this game. He's got a Zanya's as well, so him being the focus, he can put a little trickery in this fight.
So this is actually really dangerous. Even though the turret is down, funneling into this small corridor is actually really, really dangerous for compLexity. Even though there is no turret, if you line up, Braum can fill up pretty much half of this opening with his ulti.
Right.
And if PoBelter gets his stun off, that comboed with Braum is enough time. That's enough time for a Twitch with Infinity Edge and Double Blade to kill off half of your members.
We just saw Kez get scattered to just about half HP. Now he's below 25%. They're going to have to really reconsider this. They have good clear. The flash, the Fisher, right through the middle.
Great counter initiate.
It's going to be back and forth. Can they kite them into a false sense of
He goes
security?
again.
Oh my God, Robert Exley's still alive. He can still put out big damage here, but probably fell too fast. Helios has to be careful. He's going to go down one more shot, but the range is not there. Very nicely war jumped over the wall to save himself, and EG puts a stopper to the bleeding.
Yeah, compLexity in that lane. A great line move in there from EG. And PoBelter talked about how aggressive he is, flashing face first with Syndra to get the kill, relying on his Zanyas for the follow-up from his team to come bail him out. Let's take a look at this. Braum ult does whiff right down the middle, but it splits up compLexity. He blocks the tidal wave. That was the big block there from Krepo. Even though Krepo whipped his ult, he made sure that Bubba Dub's ult would not hit the team either. Whoa!
Heyo! Whoa! Going for a ride. He'll be all right. Grabbing down Baron.
But then the replay.
Baron goes down. 40 minutes into this. compLexity is going to be able to answer with the Dragon. What a game we got going on. 2,000 gold lead back in favor of Evil Geniuses as they start to gain control. The map control is not there, though. The gold lead is really the only thing going back and forth. They need to drop some turrets. They need to start being able to put pressure on the way they can do it. Really, everything's been dictated by compLexity right now.
Yeah, compLexity really need to be able to start off the team fight with a knockup so that Prawley can get to that backline. As we've seen, both of these teams have a ridiculous amount of damage that they can put out. So what becomes more important than your damage dealing is the use of your crowd control. If you can hold somebody in one spot for a small amount of time, then you have plenty of damage on your team to kill them. So that's why Krepo and Helios both going with Banshee's Veils, because they know it's all about the initiation of these team fights. If somebody gets caught out, they are done for. Robert doing the exact same thing.
He's a bubble boy too. Keeping himself safe. Red buff on him so he can even get a better kite on for the team. A lot has been focused on him. Tristana can be that complete late game carry that you require.
Oof, talking about late game carries here. Once Jax starts going defensive, you're really in trouble.
Got that Randuin's
because he's got plenty of offensive power. Now he's already transitioned into his Randuins. Going to be very difficult at this point. He's actually hit that point where the split pushing is very hard to deal with. You can't actually just send Westrice. Westrice will get bullied.
And it's not a team you can completely lock down at Jax. You also have a Lee Sin jumping around. You're trying to find Altac, so Inox going to have some freedom in this fight if he gets in at the right time.
Oh! Robert going in.
Not enough gap close there. Could not be hit up by Prawley's ultimate. They find a chance on this. Helios, he's going to take a bit of damage. Altac, very nice wall actually from Prawley, blocking out Altac's rat-a-tat-tat there.
Teleport is down for Inox, so at least they've drawn him out. There's so much pressure here from EG, though. They can zone off the turret.
That's perfect. They have Baron. Why not go for the fight? They know they're in the lead right now, but can they fight from under the turret? Altac tanking this one out. This is going to be a great push from EG, really putting their foot down and knowing what their limits are. They go right to the fountain with compLexity, and they're going to go ahead, drop this turret, and make sure the inhibitor goes down after.
Yeah, compLexity went for that pick. Robert jumping in to get the combo with Prawley, but no Yasuo ult in range, and they don't get the timing down, so EG punished them for it. All those cooldowns used. I mean, the Mikhails, once Mikhails was used to save Robert being on the front line, they knew all they had to do was aim that long-range engage straight at Robert. Braum ult and Syndra stun both going his way. There's nothing he can do to get out of it.
Great bit of mid-game movement there. All provided from EG, being in that top at the right time to get Baron. They've utilized it to grab the bottom lane now and can pretty much work off of anything. Baron comes back up. They have minion pressure in the bottom lane. A lot of things they can work with now. compLexity starting to fall behind for really the first time. They don't have too much of an answer for what just happened.
Yep, that Baron buff doing some work for EG, and they made very decisive use of it. We were wondering if they were going to have the strong end game.
Yeah. Still got Trist.
They went for that most important lane, bottom lane, as you mentioned, furthest away from Baron. That's why it's so highly prized.
Yeah. Got it. So the slow feed now as the minions start to come in. compLexity, I feel like they're going to wait for EG to push into them and make a mistake. That can also start to cause problems. When you're the one trying not to lose, you still got to try to get the victory out of the game. You still got to put your foot down. Coming up on 44 minutes, the longest game by far that these two teams have played. The first game was 34, the second longest. So we're definitely seeing them push each other to the max.
Oh, yep. It's getting real hard for compLexity to come back. Once Inox gets his Banshees depleted, they won't even have an answer for him. There'll be pretty much nothing they can do about it.
These are the kind of the simple walk-up, low-hanging fruit turrets right now.
Outside turret's pretty easy for EG to knock down here. That initiation and the combos that compLexity are relying on really get difficult to pull off here with all the defensive capabilities picked up by EG. EG don't even have a Mikhails.
Especially with what Crepo just did, walking up to the last turret, instantly doing his ultimate of Glacial Fissure. compLexity can't even feel safe at the front side of their base, which they're now going to have to guard after this tier turret.
Splitting, but Altec not showing. compLexity has to be worried. Where is he? Could he even still be here? He could be invisible right next to him.
Helios is such a menace, never with the team, always off on the wing, trying to thread in a queue somewhere.
Yeah, got it. You got to call back to that dragon fight where he maneuvered around the dragon pit.
Yeah.
To flank in
kind of thinking outside the box.
Yeah, in behind that compLexity team and win them that very important.
That was a huge play.
Dragon fight.
Helios and a lot of other people are saying the addition of him and Altec really something that EG needed. Putting them on top as one of the higher caliber teams now needing to find the wins coming in to the second half of the split. And again though, being one of the teams that also takes down Cloud9. So there's the potential there.
Yeah. This game around, Altec actually not the biggest star, even though
that's true.
Even though he hasn't died and his scoreline does look strong. The laning phase was a bit rough for them.
Yeah.
They got shoved in. They were expecting that, you know, running the Braum Twitch into a Tristan and Nami. But they really did get punished hard. It is a losing lane for them, though.
Yeah.
And he's done well in the team fights, working with that
consistently, somehow.
Lower CS score with the less gold to work with.
Somehow.
He's made it work.
No matter how the rest of the team does, and everybody's done quite well this game, but he will still provide that type of score from the bottom lane. Was known as that AD carry to be reckoned with back in the challenger scene. He can still bring it on the LCS level. Something that a lot of players have kind of a hard time adjusting to, but not him. The youth prevails. 74 to 76,000 right now, almost just cresting 77,000.
Oh, the flank comes in.
Kez walking straight into the brush. A late game face check. And it looks like compLexity is going to lose a little bit of HP here. Will it be the ground that they lose though in mid lane? Syndra, that's going to be Pobelter turning it back around to Kez. Probably has a Guardian Angel, but it's wiped out. And he's going to be going down. Coming up with a little bit of health, he is found once again. And EG is going to take that and stride 2 for 1. They're happy with it.
The second time Pobelter has flashed in to try and burst down Kez. He's got so much power right now with the Void Staff and the DFG on top of all the AP that he will pick any target. Even though Kez started building some magic users now, he's still easily burstable by that Syndra. And that aggressive play earns EG another Baron. That might just be all that they need to walk straight through the complexity base. This could very quickly, it's looking like a 3-0 here for EG, all-time record versus complexity.
Definitely have their number coming into these matchups, no matter what the case is for complexity. They put up such a good fight. Love the movement from Helios, making sure that nobody is even on the edge of being near that dragon. They have the wards for it as well. Extra safety coming in as EG picks up another dragon on top of all the gold that they have. All the Barons have been theirs, and they even have the chance now for Helios to start building Thornmail and really get to the items that aren't even mattering. They just need to start filling that inventory.
Banshees completed for Inox after that. Another Banshees for Altec. The initiation is getting increasingly more difficult for complexity.
Gonna have another Randuin's on Decrepo coming in.
The whole front line bubbled up there. The only person going without fully built.
Right, and this is gonna be tough for complexity too. We saw the last fight, Prolly's Guardian Angel went down, now with a Baroned up EG. They're more than happy to rush into the base for another fight with Glacial Fissure to start.
Let's see how they do here at these inhibitor turrets. Altec is lagging behind the team. He actually doesn't want to show when they're attacking an inhibitor. Twitch is very, very, very powerful when you do not have knowledge of his location. The longer Altec can stay hidden, the better for Evil Geniuses. If he can save his ambush as well, and use it once complexity try to initiate, then it's a very easy win for the team fight for Evil Geniuses.
Mid lane push is the next priority on the list. Helios wants some more farm, just cuz. Looks like he'll push top lane. They'll get a bit of a split push on now in the 1-3-1. Something that complexity is gonna have to stretch themselves out real thin to stop, as the super minion waves are gonna be the next one in line here behind Inox.
See, yeah, they go for a 1-3-1 split push. Very curious, with Helios not being the strongest of split pushers.
Yeah.
He's really just up there to try and draw someone away. Not generating much interest, but it is constant pressure. EG, as we always say, you know, Twitch, it's hard for him because he does have to show if he wants to hit a turret. Good block there by Crepo.
He's a big
boy.
boy.
But it's slow going for them. Look at how much damage they do with just one hit on a turret, though. Already taken a large chunk out of it.
Westrice, like you said, he's rocking the home guards earlier, but he's depleting his entire mana pool to just take out these waves and keep Inox at bay. So he's going to have to go to base at some time. And that means the team won't have him for the fight. Right now he's just looking to regen and stay in a safe position. More room from Altec. Looks like he goes and grabs himself red buff. Give himself a little more safety in these fights. A little more kill potential as well. 6,000 gold is exactly the lead as EG looks to break the next inhibitor turret. But it is, like you said, really slow going.
Yeah, 51 minutes, 6 item Tryst. Does not guarantee you dominance in the late game.
This is crazy. This turns into one of those anything can happen, Kobe. Like we said in the beginning, both of these teams lost yesterday on games they were supposed to win. Hard-fought losses.
And this one,
can't imagine that happening.
There was no clear front runner in the very beginning of this one either.
That's true.
Back and forth. But EG took the majority of dragons, so that gave them a definite leg up. See if they can close it out.
Ooh, that's a good hit. Could have caused enough chaos, but very, very good mindset here.
Ult used on the turret.
They focus on the turret. There's the ultimate. Could it be Yasuo going in? Probably does not decide. He's got a few ticks left on his Guardian Angel. They would love to wait for that, but unfortunately, they lose the inhibitor before that happens.
2 inhibitors down. It's going to be really hard. He might have to wait for another spawn of Baron here if EG are feeling really, really, really trepid and they want to put it for safe. And they might just wait it out. Exposed inhibitor though, pretty easy target for them. We'll have to see if they funnel down mid to take that one out.
Should be a pretty good domino effect.
Yeah, bottom will spawn pretty quickly after that, so retake those 2 inhibitors. That would give them tremendous amount of map control. They know they can't slip up at all against this complexity team, though. 6-item Trist is never something that you want to overlook.
Hold on to your hat,
in the
Kobe.
late game.
Double scrying orb coming out for complexity.
Oh.
They're trying to get vision.
Yeah,
they pretty much have control of nothing right now.
I'm a little less enthused nowadays with those becoming so commonplace, but I'm glad they finally made their way in. It took a long time, but it happened.
Complexity doing what they can to stay alive here.
Yeah, and the double scrying orb for them does make sense since they're so far behind. It's kind of the very desperate way to check Baron. However, they can only go to defend a Baron attempt if their inhibitors are back up, because 2 inhibitors down at the same time, those minions will destroy your base all by themselves if you leave for too long.
Communications now on the screen. You can see Helios talking to the team, saying this is what we need to do. This is how it needs to happen. Complexity is just watching now as they're looking for an in. So many large health bars for Prolly to try and eat through here. They can focus Pobelter a little bit. He doesn't have all the magic resistance he needs to be taking every bit of front-end damage. Nice ultimate. Could it be the thing they need to start the fight, though? That's more of their disengage or their way to get Prolly to an ult.
Yeah,
Still have Buster Shot,
once
but
again,
a little chaotic.
Prolly's R button is sticking.
That Guardian Angel is on him now. It's back up.
He's got orange juice in the keyboard. Somebody help. They got through the whole shield, too. I mean, they did so much work to get that tidal wave off. They broke through the shield.
It looked like they wanted it.
They got Crepo's cooldown, and then they threw the tidal wave through like 3 members, I think.
Yeah.
But we're not able to pull the trigger. And that's the kind of thing that you have to do when you're behind. You don't want to wait for minions to build up against you when you're trapped inside your base. If the minions build up, then there's that extra source of pressure. So sometimes you just kind of have to run for it and go for those risky engages. You're behind, your back is to the wall. Your level of acceptance for risk has to increase when you're behind.
Ooh. A flash for it, jumps in. See if that Phage can keep him sped up.
Oh,
gets him with the slow.
Flash.
That's the Zanyas. What's he going to have when he comes up? Cooldowns are ticking. That's a 500 damage shield. Back and forth, 300 HP for Inox. The minions are there. Caster's OP. Oh, and Caster minions assist Westrice in the kill. There's Inox. Little stretch.
Tasting purple. Hands in the air. Now it's all Westrice.
70 seconds. That's hurt.
It is. That's a really big opening for complexity. Now, Baron is the very risky thing to go after to try and get back into this game. They could go for the Dragon, which is much safer and a large chunk of gold. However, they feel like they want to run back into this game. Inox, with his hands on his head, he knows if this Baron goes down in their favor, it's all him losing a 1v1 to Westrice. And the damage is there. They go for the Baron. They get the Baron. Great call.
Wow. Kobe.
Huge step for complexity to get back in this.
Oh my gosh.
Inox, very, very disappointed.
That error absolutely resonating through the team. We'll see if EG can pick it back up.
I guess the Baron wasn't that risky.
Maybe not. Very good play in the bottom lane by Westrice. He was able to teleport up there with the team. See if Inox can recompose himself and get back into this game. He's kind of talking to himself, letting him know. More chances. Let's go. Good calls, clear plans.
Yeah, I thought maybe with Westrice being so low after that, EG might have been able to contest, but it definitely would have been dangerous, and they didn't want to risk it. So, very good call by complexity then. Take the Baron when it's up. So, Constellation Dragon goes over to EG. They're still very much ahead in gold, but the power of the Baron buff. Complexity wearing purple now. What can they do with it? Very dangerous for them to shove up, but they're trying to wield this power while they have it. Everybody's 6 items anyway.
Yeah.
Baron buff means more than ever at this point in the game. 57 minutes in. The gold discrepancy not nearly as big of a deal for the team fights. Now the bottom is still exposed. It's still an exposed inhibitor bottom. However, anytime complexity funnel into something like that, if they have to get through that small space, we've seen how effective EG's line damage is. They can decimate several members at once.
Wow.
They're able to get the line damage. So, compLexity go mid instead. Knock up.
No way.
Whoa,
they go into Helios.
Helios.
Turret's not even down yet. It actually triggers on Robert X. Lee. The team's forced to back up. They get Robert with the Glacial Fissure. Lock into the Iron Solari brought out from Kez, and they're going to try to make this fight happen.
Oh!
Beautiful shots on the Altec. Winter's Bite just missing as he throws up Unbreakable. Crepo trying to secure the team's HP bars. Kez on the outside. What a chaotic fight. 1v1s, sometimes 2v1s all over. The inhibitor turret finally goes down. compLexity perseveres through the engagement, and they start opening up the base of Evil Geniuses.
This time was all about misdirection. compLexity, the main thing they wanted to do was spread out, and probably going over to that side. compLexity spread out in a very wide arc around that inhibitor turret opening, and a great job by them not lining up this time around. Robert also not hesitating to use his flash backwards when pobelter came in.
Right.
Jumping into the front line. pobelter was very close.
His repositioning is amazing.
As soon as that DFG gets fired onto Robert, he is out of there. He knows that if he goes down, all is lost. Great spread from compLexity. Very much back in this game. Pretty much gold difference now. We can even stop talking about it because
it's
the items are pretty much the only thing that matter. It's the items and the buffs that you're wearing at this point. Everybody's maxed out here.
Maxed out indeed. We also maxed out our longest game of the North American Summer Split. 57-18 was our previous time. These guys are pushing each other to the long haul. Just 40 seconds rather off an hour long in this match. It's Super Week. You have to remember these teams, some of them have multiple games today, and this is testing their endurance.
Exactly. This game for the bottom of the standings, the 7th and 8th place team, is more intense than we've had in matchups of the first place teams. People tied for first place. These two teams,
and they're great moves as well,
fighting tooth and nail. And
teams
both teams have
not
all
errors.
the bubbles now too. Everybody's getting Banshee's veils because they know at this point in the game, it all relies on the crowd control and the initiation. Which team gets the jump? All Banshees get popped here. That's actually a pretty big win for EG. They've popped all the Banshees. Now they're looking for the combo.
Probably being Robert X. Lee's kind of personal shield with his Banshee's Veil. They have such good clear. They can continue the siege. Westrice with the blue buff once again throughout pretty much the entire game. Probably gets hit up. Guardian Angel still on. They know the full engagement is not there from the side of EG.
Inox doing his best to clear waves on the side.
Wait a minute. Oh, he goes too far back. Helios, can he get the kick? Probably gets taken down immediately, but Altec has already picked up 2 in the blink of an eye. A 3rd kill to come in now. That's going to be Prolly's. They still keep going on the fight. pobelter's still the only one to go down, and the Nexus turrets are falling on the side of Evil Geniuses.
Ooh, they finished the fight just in time to defend Nexus 2. The speed at which you finish the fight,
that
crucial.
Oh, he gets through it. Can't get the last one down. They are doing their damnedest to keep this last Nexus turret up, but losing 3 members. compLexity doesn't even have to worry about the map. Oh my God, it goes down.
Win the fight, lose the Nexus turret.
They are staying to take down the inhibitors. compLexity wants to crush this one down. They do not want to let EG out of their base, but it is going to be a must. They have to back, and we're going to get another full HP fight from both teams. But that Nexus is completely open on the side of Evil Geniuses.
Nail-biter, Riv. You know it's getting good when the AD carry is still boots for the Zephyr.
I like it.
Up next is Altec. Will he go with the selling of the boots? Because move speed, you know, Twitch, low mobility anyway. He might want to just do it. Oh, he sold another item. Didn't quite see what it was. He got GA and Phantom Dancer back, though.
Yeah.
He needs more crit. So he sold his Ghost Blade, that's for sure. Well, he's switching again. What else he's selling?
Sold it. There's a lot of GAs now on Evil Geniuses, but you got to consider they're only going for the Nexus. They can get through in time.
What's he going to replace that GA with? He just had a GA, and now he does not. Magic tricks all over this game. Now it's here, now it's gone.
I don't know. I like this part, though, because then you see really what the players consider to be the most effective things late game. You hear Doublelift kind of be like, oh, my Guardian's down. We'll go for the Blade if you didn't have Blade in recent seasons. But
he needs to fill that hole in his inventory very quickly.
Right.
62
Very
minutes.
interesting.
62 minutes into the game. You can't. Oh, he had a blue elixir on him as well for the cooldown reduction. Gets his Ghost Blade back. I feel like there was a mismanagement of items there, but I'm not quite sure when happened. It was too quick to keep track of. Sleight of hand from Altec.
We are well over an hour here and well over 100,000 gold on both sides. 200K racked up between the teams in this game. One last turret standing in the top lane for EG. It doesn't even need to be taken down.
How else should we end this game? Of course, with a Baron fight.
Yeah!
Everybody going mid. Bases are exposed. If one team wins a fight at this point in the game,
man.
It's so easy to end the game. Blue Elixir still ticking for Altec, has the cooldown reduction. Woo! All right.
Yeah, there's a point in time where, I said before, where time allows you to make errors, but there are no errors that can be made this far into the game.
This time around, Robert is the one with the GA up, though. Altec does not have GA. We'll see if this is the deciding factor. Because last time we saw all the Banshees getting popped first, and then EG still pulling off their combo, taking out Robert early and winning the fight to barely hold on to the game.
I love these secret mission Helios goes on.
You know,
somehow be behind the team at no point in time. Every point in time, actually.
He needs a box to hide under. They'll never suspect.
Did that box just move? No, it's not Helios.
The Wraith can't move. All right. Westrice, though, is split pushing here. You notice they're just ignoring Dragon completely. It means nothing at this point in the game.
Yeah.
With everybody full items, everybody level 18.
500, 600 CS.
It's just about this next fight. Everything up until now is meaningless. They've all been small battles.
So why don't we just start here?
Yeah, just start. Everyone should start 6 items, level 18.
Let's go.
2 inhibitors exposed. The
Oh,
map is mirrored
nice
right
clear.
now.
The Winter's Bite kind of wanted it right around that minion. A little bit of curve shot.
All right. Oh, gets 1 Banshees on Kez. Kez has been a priority target, actually.
Krepo's like, he's 2 for
Anybody
2.
on the front line.
He's going to keep going.
Yeah, he lost his Banshees in trade, though.
That's all right.
We got to keep track. This is how we...
You can be 2 for 2, but if you're dead, it doesn't matter.
Braum shield down is huge. Can they take advantage? Small cooldown opening.
Blade of the Rune King onto Helios. He gets a good dragon kick out. That's going to be the double hit up. They're going to try to fight this. Kez misses that on the tidal wave. Good hit by Bubba Dub, though. Krepo taking some good damage. Eyes on him. Westrice drops him. EG's going to be going down. Probably still alive. They're able to take down Altec. compLexity is going to shut down. Evil Genius is 2-0 as they try to make it 3-0. And they're going to take a win for themselves. 65 minutes in, they start to batter back down on the middle inhibitor. The Nexus is now in their eyes. And what a hard-fought game between both teams here on the second day of Super Week. compLexity taking down Evil Genius.
What a game. That one mistake from Inox in the late game.
He knew it too.
He knew it as soon as it happened. Whenever you get that late in the game, all it takes is who's going to make the first misstep. Whew.
Very
Great
good
job.
fight.
Great job by compLexity finishing it out in that team fight. Pop the Banshees, snag the Cocoon, you get the shield down from Krepo. Then you have to have several different waves of initiation to actually go with a full team fight. And they pulled it off. A good Yasuo ult to actually end the game there from Crawley. And then...
Thanks, Riv. I'm joined by Kez and Robert Exley after one of the most grueling matches we have seen in a very long time. As a matter of fact, at 65 minutes and 30 seconds, it's the longest game in the NA LCS this year. How does that feel, coming off a game like that?
Oh, I'm not sure how I should feel about it, because it means that we're so bad, like both of us are so bad that we can't close the game, or we're very even and, you know, it's head-to-head. I would say it's a little bit of both. We were playing very passive and just trying to get small leads. Meanwhile, because what happened in our yesterday game against CLG, we're like, oh man, we're crushing them. 23-minute Baron. Oh, we threw. Whoops. And this time it's safe play or we're going to throw again.
Yeah, in a really long game like that, how much does mental stamina play a factor?
Mental stamina was definitely a big factor. Actually, for me personally, it was 15 minutes into the game, and I was like, it's 15 minutes into the game? I thought it was like 30 minutes.
Oh.
So time kind of just flew by for me. But those last 20 minutes of the game was very grueling and emotional for our team.
All right, and I want to go all the way back about an hour ago to Champion Select here. Kez, you guys set up what looked like a Yasuo composition, and then Yasuo just kept getting camped in the mid lane. How does that adjust your team's strategy and basically focus on a different win condition?
Well, basically, at first, we were really looking into playing Yasuo, but since they first picked, I think they first picked Syndra, so we had a really good Yasuo comp with the first pick Lulu, so we just changed our strat to that.
You
And
changed your
it worked out.
strategy to
Playing Yasuo.
Oh, just playing Yasuo out of the Champion Select. So when Yasuo started getting camped in the middle lane, did you just change it to Robert's going to carry now, or are we just going to continue to focus on probably put him on a side lane and have him farm?
Well, when Yasuo started getting camped, I was just like, well, Yasuo's just getting camped. I guess I should focus on other lanes more. So.
Absolutely. Well, and so in doing so, we watched both the top turret and the bottom turret go down relatively early. You guys were able to push really hard with the Tristana and the Nami as well as the Lulu over the Jax. So was the idea there just to accelerate the game as quickly as possible?
With the lane swap?
Well, having and then but just pushing the turrets early, right? You have Tristana and Nami, which is great pushing power.
So in the 2v2 bottom, we actually had a good lead over them, and it was to the point where they're conceding everything, and we just got free hits on the turret, and it just ended up working out. And probably was telling us that he was struggling really hard middle, so we just called like, how would you do against a 1v1 Twitch? And he's like, that's easy. So that's what we did. We put I go mid lane, probably goes bottom lane, and actually it worked out very nicely just because the fact that Twitch couldn't farm against Yasuo. And if you notice, I noticed like 30 minutes of the game, I had about 300 farm, and Altic meanwhile had 180, and it's definitely a good strat. That wasn't like our intention, but it just worked out despite like with the crappy situation we were put into.
Yeah, you guys had a ton of CS at that point. I want to take it back a little bit before the 30-minute mark. There's an ace that happened about 22 minutes at the Dragon fight. We're going to have a replay up on your screen in a second. Kez, walk me through this replay here.
Okay. Well, this fight we kind of wanted to fight because we knew we were a little bit behind. And Helios actually jumps in, so we actually found a really good opportunity to catch Lee Sin first. And Syndra was in a really bad position, so we caught him out there too. And after that, the fight is just kill Twitch, just kite out Jax, and it was a pretty easy fight.
Yeah, and Robert just keeps kiting backwards, and you guys end up getting 2 turrets off the back of that, and just accelerating the game more and more, but EG was just...
Yeah, that was a really good turning point for us.
Well, so one of the things that I want to touch on coming out of that fight, right? As he mentioned, you got the ace, you got 2 turrets. That's a pretty big gold swing. And throughout the rest of the game, we saw it rise and fall, switch hands a couple times. As a player, how do you interpret your gold lead and your power spikes? What are the key factors you're looking at in order to determine when you're ahead and when you're not?
I would say that we were even though we had a big lead gold-wise, we were still playing very passive because they had a very pick-oriented comp with Lee Sin, Braum, Syndra, and Twitch. So despite the goal lead, we still couldn't push up. And we couldn't find an opportunity to ward. And actually, when we did go to ward, we got picked off a couple times, which led to, I think we gave them like 2 dragons for free because we just did not have the vision and we couldn't walk into them. So we were thinking, our team outscales them. Tristana, the 1v5 god, kind of not really. In that game, I would say that West did a very big part in that game. So I would say we're just looking to outscale.
All right. And in the bottom, you guys ended up having a really great rotation and caught EG without Altec and Helios, and you got a bottom inhibitor turret practically for free, and Helios was trying to flank around the side. What happens in that type of split-second decision where you're trying to just take advantage of a crack in the armor?
Yeah, when the enemies make a rotation that we can't find the opportunity to make the play, then we should make the play, and that's what we did. So we got the free inhib turret. I mean, after we got the inhib turret, we couldn't do much about it, but I think it was still worth.
All right, well, we're going to move forward into our final replay here, which is the last fight of the game, the one that you won, to move on and get your first win against EG. But what I want to know from you guys is, in these late game scenarios when everyone's 6 items, who's making the shot, like the shot calling, right? Like, where are the decisions coming from? Is it a free-for-all? Where, just walk me through it and let me know who's making the decisions.
So I guess I can start this. So we wanted to take down the inhibs. We're just banking that we're stronger than them. We actually get a really big chunk onto Braum and I'm pretty sure it's followed up by a very big chunk onto Jax, and that's what escalated the fight. And from here, I was just looking to kite back because I know Syndra was trying to chase after me, and Syndra actually went too far, couldn't catch me, and gets stuck, left for dead. And from here, I jumped all the way into Altec, and from here the fight was over. I would say the big two factors in that fight was Syndra went for the kill onto me, but I actually got away from her, and then followed up by I re-engaged into the fight and got onto Twitch. Meanwhile, my team is creating havoc, so they actually gave me the opportunity for that team fight.
All right, so when you do enter those late game situations, what are the calls like? Are they very hectic, or is everybody just shouting somebody's name, get that guy?
For me personally, I'm like just in my zone. I'm not even saying anything. I'm just making sure like, dude, anyone can kill me, and I'm really scared. So I'm playing like a big lady right now, and once I got my chance to attack, that's where it worked out well. Meanwhile, my team was calling targets on CCs, and that's actually a good point. That's why we got the chunk onto Braum and the chunk onto Jax, because Wes and Kez. Who's our support's name?
Bubba.
There we go.
That guy. You lane with him. Wow, that communication. Not gonna question it right now. But Kez, what's happening in your mind during that?
I'm just trying to hit as many cocoons as possible. Like I'm not yelling like cocoons when I'm throwing cocoons, but when I hit them, I'll be like, just hit that guy and chunk him.
All right, one final question. You guys play Dig and C9 tomorrow. You've beaten both of them. C9 you've beaten twice without giving them a win of their own. What's your game plan going in? It's a two-game day, so what's the pressure like on those types of days? How are you going to deal with it?
Well, we just got to play really safe, because I'm not sure about now because we already beat Dig and C9 once, but I feel like they kind of disrespect us as a team. But I think if they do that again, we can obviously win and bank on that. So we just got to play really safe and farm.
All right. Well, best of luck to the both of you in your match tomorrow. Thanks for joining us here on the desk. We've got to take a quick break while we patch up some minions. When we return, we'll jump into our next match, LMQ versus Curse. We'll be right back.